Shalom, bear with me for a minute. Okay. Giving all praise to Yahweh Shem Shabbat Shem Kakodash. The topic is prophecy, of course. And we're going to deal with Gog and Magog, Meshach and Tubal, but mainly Gog and Magog, and the Medes. So what I did was I went to, I don't know how long this is going to be. Let's see where the Spirit takes me. Hope it's not too long. Sometimes I get long-winded. But anyway, I was watching the video, a little bit of the video that Apostle Muhammad had put up dealing with prophecies, because we're in that time. You know, what manner person ought you to be in all holy conversations. That's what Peter said. So we're supposed to be speaking about these prophecies mainly. That's what we're supposed to mainly be getting into. Let me see some more. This devil right here. Anyway, let me do this. If I can find it, here we go. Prophecy is playing out on the world scene. You know what, let me let you listen to a little bit of it just to see how it picks up. So bear with me if it don't pick up. You just jump around. Augury, a president becomes inaugurated. The emperor of Rome in the ancient world became inaugurated. When you look up the word augur and inaugurated, it means to, it's another way of saying prophet. So a Caesar or a president, what they're telling you that these guys are prophets, because what they do is they tell you in their debates what they're going to do. We're going to do this, and this is going to happen. So those are all prophecies. Those are all things that they say they're going to do, and they promise to do it. And some of them do it, and some of them don't. This is Rome all over again. This is the Caesars all over again. You know, this guy Donald J. Trump, he wants to be president again. Excuse me. Because that's in the spirit, because he was this guy, he was Nero Caesar. In my belief, we here at GMS believe that he was Nero Caesar. He got the spirit of that double Nero Caesar. And Nero Caesar, he loved the fact that he was the emperor. You know, some of them don't really want to be, you know, it's, you know, but that man loved the fact that he loves being in the spotlight, and he even looks like this guy Nero. You know, I mean, you can do some research on Nero, and you can compare it to the life and times of Donald J. Trump. But anyway, um, before you become a president, you have to be inaugurated, meaning you are a prophet. What you say, it comes to pass. If you say this is going to happen, it's going to happen, which shows you that this is a spiritual kingdom, but this is a spiritual kingdom on the left-hand side, as the Roman Empire was a spiritual kingdom on the left-hand side, and they believed in the spirits. They would look up at the way birds would fly, and they would interpret the pattern of the birds. I believe they were white birds. They would throw them up. I did a video on that years ago. And they would say, okay, based upon the pattern of these birds, this is going to happen and that's going to happen. We're going to win this war. So Esau is not so much of a physical man that he is. He's a more of a spiritual man, but his spirit is on the left-hand side. And he trusts on the things on the left-hand side. So, you know, he mentioned that, you know, Apostle Rambam mentioned that. Let me bring that back. Listen again. That's exactly what we are. You got these, hope you can hear them clearly. You got these different camps out there. Some of them are prophets, some of them are wannabe prophets, some of them are just niggas. But it's fulfilling prophecy. The fact that you got Jake out there on the corners, on the on YouTube, and we also on Odyssey. There's certain videos I put up that are not on YouTube that I put up on Odyssey. I put up about 3 or 4 of them last week. But people don't know about Odyssey, so they figure, well, Tahar hasn't put up a video in a couple of days. What's going on? Well, you got to check the Odyssey too, because sometimes I'll do a video and I'll say certain things, and I'll say, oh, no, I can't put this up because they're gonna take it down based upon certain words. So you got to be choice in your words, even with the charagma. That's why we got to say charagma, MOTB, because at one time you can come out and say the word. You can come out flat and do whole videos on the subject, and they wouldn't mess with you. Now they mess with you because they know that we know that that's a fulfillment of prophecy, what they're doing right now. Let's listen to a little bit more. Let's see where this goes. And then I'm gonna go into my subject through the spirit, or the Most High subject, dealing with working through me. Let's say it that way. And we were there to say those, to tell her those most of those prophecies that took place in the ancient world, we were there. We were always here if we are in fact the prophets of the Lord. This is not, this is not a new thing with us. We were here before. There's a thing called reincarnation, vocab Malone. And that's an easy subject to tackle, to go over. I'm still a little under the weather, and I can hear in Apostle Ramlah's voice that he's a little under the weather. I did a soda dope cleanse, and it opened me up, So I sent you the video of a particular guy doing the same cleanse. I use honey instead of lemon. So check that out. Let me let you listen to a little bit more. Everything that happened, the downfall, the split of the two kingdoms, you might be saying, well, Jeroboam was wicked because he did that. Yeah, he was wicked, but guess what? He did that because, well, who was that? The prophet Ahijah tore his garment, mantle, I believe, his garment, outer garment. You got to go back into the history, and he took 10 pieces, and he gave it to him. He said, "This is for you." That represent the tribe that's going to come up under you. And then the other two, which really became two pieces, represented Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, because remember, Levi was scattered among all the tribes, but it was the order of Jeroboam. Somebody can put that in the comment section too. I'm not going to go ahead and look for it, because there's two classes going on. The one that I'm teaching and the one that the class that goes on in the comment section of the live stream, or even in the comment section after the live stream is done. So we're constantly learning, and we're constantly reminding ourselves through these precepts. We go through a lot of these same precepts over and over, especially the prophecies. You got to go over them over and over and over again so you can perfect them in your mind. So you don't got to think, oh, what is that? Where that scripture at? And where that scripture at? And what does that mean? Let me go to my notebook. If I tell any of y'all that's been in this thing for a number of years, I put you on the spot and say, Revelation chapter 12, you're supposed to be able to break that down like it's standing on your head, because we went through it so many times. So let's listen on. That's the main prophecy. You got a lot of these camps speaking about the destruction. Oh, what's happening over there in the Ukraine? Ukraine. Yep, that's in the news. Kazakhstan. There's a lot happening in Kazakhstan. Dealing with, I don't even want to speak on it. There's some new information coming out of Kazakhstan, but if I speak on it, they'll take it down. It's some real trippy shit. Anyway, let me let you listen on. Forgive me. Right. Yeah, these camps are teaching that Babylon's gonna be destroyed and Russia's gonna fight, Babylon, and this is gonna happen. China's gonna be involved in the missiles and all that. Yeah, but they're jumping the gun because before all that happens, the major destruction, the time of Jacob's trouble, the charagma has to happen. And you're going to get a major wake-up call, you other camps. I'll name some major names, IUIC. If they're not teaching about the charagma, then the Lord is not dealing with them fully. Same goes with the ISUPK. Now you got the Captain Tazariak said that what we're teaching about the charagma is stupid. Okay, then we'll be stupid. That's all right. We'll be the stupid Israelites. Okay, we're gonna see who's stupid when your ass got to line up and get that MOTB. That's why we keep talking about it. That's why I keep talking about it. And I'm gonna keep talking about it. Let's listen to it a little bit more. The Armageddon one, Armageddon, Hamagad one is mountain of the troops. That's what it means. The gathering of the troops. And that's going to be in the Great Levant or the Levant, the Fertile Crescent, whatever you want to call it. We almost there, man. And this is what Esau is afraid of when we say this. When we say, because in the back of their mind, it's all these niggas is talking shit. But then, and truly in the back of their mind, the very back of their mind, they're saying, what if all this is going, what if all of this comes to pass? And they know it's going to come to pass. The elite that you don't see behind the scenes, man, they checking out every goddamn thing. They know that what we're saying is true. They know that we're the prophets. They know that they're the Edomites. And they know that Esau's at his end and Jacob is at his beginning. So what they're doing is trying to upset the prophecies. One way of doing that is demonizing the prophets. Because these people at the small hats, they don't know what's going on. You know, I've worked with them. I picked them up, I delivered for them, I picked them up and took them places and talked to them. I talked to them jokers, you know, pick their brain. And then guess what? They can pick my brain too, you know? And they don't, they're demons, but guess what? They demons that don't know that they're demons. All they know is what their rabbis or their parents taught them. I even picked up the small hats that look just like Esau, man. In a bunch of occasions, they'll have Adamothi hair and Adamothi skin, and they'll be ruddy, and they'll look just like my main man, Jacob's brother. So that's the spirit, man. That's the spirit. And that it shall be known that a prophet was among them. And it's going to be known that we are the prophets. GMS being number one up there. And a lot of those camps do a lot of good work too. You know, we're not gonna knock all of them, but goddamn, man, you know, here it is, 2022, and you can't see. Your eyes are not open to see the MOTB. Your eyes are not open to see the charagma. You can't see that. When we see this thing come out 2 years ago, we already knew, that's the opening. That's the setup. Let me let you listen to a little bit more. And who are the chosen? Pursuant to Second Ezra chapter 16, then it should be known who are my chosen, who are the true men of the Most High. I hope you can hear this clearly. You should have went to boy, wait a minute. Let me see what happens here. Okay, there goes your boys. Okay, let me do this here. Damn, what I said I was gonna go as blue letter. The blue letter is a great tool, a great tool. When I go to Isaiah 42:9, I normally back it up with Isaiah, I believe it's 49. I'm hoping I'm 49 and 6, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sorry. I believe it's 46. Let me try 46. Isaiah 46. Let's hope I'm right. Yeah, that's it. Start at 8 verse. Isaiah 46, verse 8. Remember this and show yourself men. Bring it again to mind. O ye transgressors, remember the former things of old. Remember the former things of old. So the Apostle Ramlab had went through, read Isaiah 42. Remember the things of old. For I am the Most High, and there is none else. I am the Most High, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Twelfth verse. Hearken unto me, ye stout-hearted, that are far from righteousness. What does the word righteous mean? It means to keep the laws. I bring near my righteousness, it shall not be far off, and my salvation shall not tarry, and I will place salvation in Zion for Israel, my glory. We used to read this particular precept a lot. So where am I? So let me come back to him. I hope you can hear him clearly. Okay, so let me go here. Bear me for a minute. We got to get out of here, man. Anyway, what I did was I went to Ezekiel 38, verse 2, to the commentary. This is Ellicott's commentary for English readers. And you know me, I'm known for going to these commentaries just to see what these Edomite top world scholars of the scriptures, what they say about things. And a lot of times they are on point. They're on point. They're 100%. And a lot of times they're way the hell off. And a lot of times they know what that prophecy means, but they're afraid to speak on it. So they'll do give you a lot of BS. Anyway, I read some of this. I didn't read the whole thing, but I said, wow, when I saw this. This is Ellicott's commentary for English readers. It says Gog, the land of Magog. Magog is mentioned in Genesis 10, verse 2. The sons of Japhet, Gomer, Magog, Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshach, and Tyrus, which are currently where, like, you know, Germany, Turkey, you got those lands of Europe going, you know, Greece, all those various lands. You know what? Yeah, I don't want to go to the map. This is in First Chronicles 1, verse 5. The sons of Japhet, Gomer, Magog, Madai. So you know that they're actual people. You know that they're not Edomites, they're not Europeans. They're the original Europeans, which are the sons of Japhet, which are dark people that took their lands were like Europe, different parts of Europe, and even the beginning of Russia, because Russia was no man's land. It says, in connection with Gomar, the Kim Marines, I should look that up. Matter of fact, let me do that. Cameroons. Let's see who the Cameroons are. Who they say they are. The, can I pronounce it? Sumerian. I'm sorry. I said Cameroon. Sumerian. Sumerian. The Sumerians were a nomadic Indo-European people who appeared about 1000 BC, originating in the Pontic Caspian steppe. That's a steppe. The Sumerians subsequently migrated into Southwest Asia and into Central and Southeast Europe, while the Sumerians were often described by contemporaries as culturally Scythian. They eventually differed ethnically from the Scythians proper, who also replaced the Sumerians. So the Sumerians will have to be Japhetic. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me go fast. No, I don't want that. Let me go to images. So these are these old Russian warriors. The Esau goes into the history, man. Oh, you got Conan the Cimmerian, which I guess Conan supposed to be of Russian descent. So Esau goes into that history, man. Make no doubt about it. Okay. So we know who they are. And Madai, the Medes. The Medes is mentioned in Isaiah 13 as the name of a people descendant from Yapat. The original people of Japhet are dark-skinned people. The people that took their lands, were Edomites. Early Jewish tradition adopted by Josephus and Saint Jerome identified them with the what? The Scythians. The Scythians. The Scythians were a group of ancient tribes of nomadic warriors who originally lived in what is now southern Siberia, which is Russia. They send your ass to Siberia for punishment. Their culture flourished from around 900 BC to around 200 BC, by which time they had extended their influence all over Central Asia, from China to the northern Black Sea. It said the Scythians or Sith, also known as Saka and Sake, and Ishkuzai or Ishkuzai, were an ancient nomadic people living primarily in the region known as Scythia, which today comprises the Eurasian steppes, I hope I read that right, of Kazakhstan. So there's major events going on in Kazakhstan right now. If you look at them people, they have kind of like a European slash Moabite, because it was a mixture of those Edomites and those Moabites. And they're good, they're very tough athletes, very good boxers, weightlifters, and so forth. And by the way, Kazakh is Hebrew for strong one. The Russian steppes of the Siberian, Ural, Volga, and southern regions, and eastern what? Ukraine. So those are the Medes. Those are those people. But I was surprised that this guy came out like this in this commentary. It says, in this view has seemed probable to nearly all modern expositors, but the name of Scythians must be understood rather in a geographical than in a strictly ethnological sense. Yeah, because you got a mixture of people over there. It says of the tribes living north of the Caucasus, boom, there you go, driven from their original home by the Mazagati, I think that's pronounced. They had poured down upon Asia Minor and Syria shortly before the time of Ezekiel, and had advanced even as far as Egypt. They took Sardis, spread themselves in Madiah, or the Medes, the land of the Medes, Isaiah the 13th chapter, were bribed off from Egypt to, what is that, Tikos, and were finally driven back BC 596, leaving their name as a terror to the whole Eastern world for their fair skill in war. That's some Russians today, man. They like to war. Them people of Ukraine, them top boxers, they come from Ukraine, they come from Russia, they come from the top wrestlers, the top world-class wrestlers, Greco-Roman wrestlers, freestyle wrestlers. Yeah, they're taking over the MMA world as well, from Kazakhstan and so forth. Their cruelty, their rapacity, it was probably the memory of their recent disastrous inroads that led Ezekiel to the section of their name as the representatives of the powers hostile to the church of the Most High. The name Gog occurs only in connection with Magog, except in Chronicles, 1 Chronicles 5, verse 4, as the name of an otherwise unknown Reubenite. Let me see what they mean by that. Let me take that word out. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. Okay, they equate the word. So Reubenite. Let me try this. Okay, Reubenite. I don't know why they put Reubenite there. It is also the reading of the Samaritan and Septuagint in Numbers 24, verse 7. What does it say here? It says, he shall pour the water out. I'm not going to read that. Anyway, the point I wanted was the fact that they identify Gog and Magog with the Medes. Let me try something here. Okay, where's the blue letter? Medes is written, mentioned 14 times. Wow. So I'm gonna go through some of these precepts here. So now we know that the Medes are actually Russian, Gog and Magog, the Scythians. It says Isaiah 13, verse 17, behold, I will stir up the Medes, which are the Russians, the people of Kazakhstan, the people of Ukraine, which are part of Russia. Those are Russian people. They said, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Because there's going to come a point where somebody, whether this current president or the new president or this guy gets old and he retires or he dies, and they're going to get rid of Kamala Harris. She's just she's a nobody. If she becomes president, them Edomites and Bible Belt Edomites, they're gonna tear it. They're gonna really tear it. You talking about attacking the damn Capitol? They're gonna really attack the Capitol, man. If they got to deal with a so-called black woman being over them, Esau ain't gonna stand for that shit. Them horns are gonna come out on this devil, so they're gonna have to do something, man. So what they can do is hope that Trump gets back in for some reason, or Biden gets well. Yeah, he meets up with some herbologists. He makes them young again. Or they get rid of both of them, him and Kamala Harris, and they put a whole different president and vice president in. But somebody gonna cause something to happen on a global stage, and it's gonna cause them to say, "Fuck it, we fucking this place up. We're gonna shoot these, these arrows on this bitch." ASP as soon as possible. ASAP as soon as possible. Okay, so next precept. It says Jeremiah 25, verse 25, and all the kings of Zimmer, Elam, which are the Indians, and all the kings of the Medes. I'm not going to read no more of that. Jeremiah 51, verse 11, and then Jeremiah 51, verse 28. Make bright the arrows, make the shields. The Lord have raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes. It's not talking about these Japhetic people, it's talking about the Russians. For this device is against Babylon. Ooh, so we know, and I love this. I love Jeremiah chapter 50, and I love Jeremiah chapter 51. Those are, and for that matter, Jeremiah chapter 49. Those are some hella chapters, man, right there. It says, make, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me click on this. Just going with the spirit. And you get tempted to read this whole chapter. Start the 7th verse. Let's go with the spirit. But this is a beauty. This is one of my favorite chapters here. You know me, I like to go into the breakdowns, hermeneutics. Jeremiah 51 verse 7, behold, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. Now, how did Babylon do that? Through their philosophy, through their politics, through their science. You know, Elamites, you got a lot of, you go to a lot of these hospitals and you got a lot of Elamites because they ship Elamites over here and they become doctors in their land too. That's why you got a lot of Elamites, because they train them and they bring them over here for cheap labor. And I met an Elamite doctor that did actual transplants, man, kidney transplant, lung transplant. And we were talking, we got down into talking, and he said that I asked him what kind of money he makes a year. And this was maybe 10 years ago. He said he made like 60,000 a year. I said, what? I said, you got Edomites that make 250, 300, $500,000 a year doing that. And he said, well, that's how the system is. That's why you see so many. Basically, they're like the Mexicans of the medical world. They bring them over here for cheap labor. It says, Babylon, have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken. Now, that's not talking about ancient Babylon. The nations have drunken of a wine, therefore the nations are mad. So they said, let's try the political system of this man. Let's try the economic system of this man. Let's try to, let's eat the food. Let's do this. And you know what they're finding out? That this is crap. This is crap, man. There's a thing called the Americanization of Japan and China, where you got McDonald's and you got people wearing 3-piece suits or 2-piece suits or whatever, and driving Buicks. You know, the Chinese, when they started getting money, they would say, let me go get a Buick, which that's not the number one car from the States, but it's part of the Americanization. It says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed, and that's what we're looking for. How for her take balm for her pain. If so, be she may be healed. If so, be she may be healed. Sound like a tongue twister. 9th verse. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, and everyone into his own country for her. And that's what people are doing. They're leaving the country, man, because this place is done, man. This place is done. You go to stores now, you got shelves that are empty. And I've been to All the stores I go to, there's certain sections of the store where there's certain things that you used to getting, they don't get, or they're low on it. So this place is on its downfall. Real talk. It said, for her judgment reach unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. Yeah, because they created planes, and they created spaceships, shuttles, and all kind of stuff to go out and up into the clouds and out into outer space. It says, the Lord, the power, have brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of Yahweh, our power. So what manner of person ought you to be in all holy conversation? This is what we're supposed to be talking about 24/7. This is what you're supposed to get your mindset for, of the coming of the MOTB, the Charagma. 11 verse, Jeremiah 51 verse 11. Make bright the arrows, gather, and the modern day arrows are the ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles. Does it make bright the arrows, gather the shields? Yahweh have raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, but his device is against Babylon, which is this place right here, to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of Yahweh, the vengeance of his temple. Because who destroyed the temple? Esau. He destroyed it twice. And he's trying to build his own temple. They're going to fail miserably. It said 12 verse, set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon, make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes. For Yahweh have both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. So anybody that's left on the soil of this place, or soils of this place, is going to be destroyed. Real talk. And the ones that's going to make it are the elect. Let me read this again. The elect, which are the ones that's not going to take that MOTB. So if you believe that you want to be elect, don't worry about what's going to happen. You're gonna fight against it. You're gonna resist it, man. And the Most High and the angels are going to be with you. The Lord is going to be with you. So I'm saying, when it going to hurry up and do what the hell you got to do. Do what you got to do, like the Lord told Judas Iscariot. Go ahead and do what you got to do. So Esau, go ahead and do what you got to do. Stop tiptoeing through the tulips and bring this shit on out, man. I can't wait. I can't wait till Revelation 2:10 come to pass. I can't wait. You're all going to be tested. Revelation 3 verse 10. I always bring those precepts out. It says, set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon, make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, prepare the ambush, for Yahweh have both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon, which there's going to be more Israelites in Babylon that's going to be destroyed than Israelites being delivered. And the ones of you that went ahead and took that, karate, you take the okey pokey, the hokey pokey, you're going to take the real hokey pokey, which is the MOTB. So you camps out there that's teaching different, you better get with the program, because you're going to cause a lot of your people, well, I'll say all of them, most of them, they're gonna scramble. they're not going to have, they're not going to be stable in their minds, pursuant to Isaiah 33, verse 6. 13, let's see what 13 says. O thou that dwelleth upon many waters, Revelation 17 come to mind, abundant in treasures. Oh my goodness, who's that talking about? Who's that talking about? Somebody please read Revelation 18. Thine end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. Let me look up the word covetousness. Batazai, profit, unjust, unjust gain, profit required by violence. How did this man become great? Through that sword. Through that sword that Isaac gave him, which is Yahweh Shai. Wow. You want something that somebody have and you go ahead and you take it and it's not yours. Woe to him that increases that which is not his. Habakkuk 2. And these are some good, real good precepts right here. Proverbs 1 verse 19. So are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof. And that's what you did. That's what you did. And you're going to have to pay for it. He that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience in the faith of the saints. Well, this is a topic right here on the word covetousness. Ill-gotten gain. Where am I? 13 verse. O thou that dwelleth upon many waters, Revelation 17, abundant in treasures, thine end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness, the fact that you got things by ill-gotten gain, the fact that you stole, woe to him. Matter of fact, let me go to that. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he shall say unto me and what I shall answer then when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision, make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. But the vision is yet for an appointed time, and at the end it shall speak. It's speaking right now and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just Israelites, the soul that is not right is Esau, shall live by faith. So a couple of minutes ago, I spoke about the charagma. You're gonna have your faith. The faith is gonna have to kick in, man. If your faith doesn't kick in, you're gonna gonna suffer the consequences. It said, yeah, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, and who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as deaf and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth upon him all nations, and heapeth upon him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Now that word thick clay is talking about depth, a batyat. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee? They're gonna bite you with the missiles, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee because of men's blood and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high as Esau, Obadiah 1. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwelleth in the cliff of the rock, that he may be delivered from the power of evil, because they're going to try to escape. They're going to try to escape. So I wanted to go back to, let me go here, go back to Jeremiah 51. We all know these precepts. Comfort one another with these words, with this book. '14 verse. The Lord Yahweh have sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. He hath made the earth by his power. He hath established the world by his wisdom. He hath stretched out the heaven by his understanding. '19 verse speaks about the portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the form of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord Yahweh of hosts is his name. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. So the Lord's going to use certain Israelites to jack this place up. So this is beautiful, man. But before all this happens, matter of fact, let me go here. Jeremiah 50 verse 1. The word of the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans, which we know that what that is, by Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations and publish, and that's our job. You got these Israelites, you got all, we don't like those camps. Well, you people that are not in camps, you're not doing videos. You're just there being a goddamn scoffer. And the Most High is not dealing with you guys that scoff. What we do is the prophets prophesy. So what are we doing? You know, you get on GMS. Look, we do what the Most High told us to do. We believe that we're the prophets of the Lord. And a lot of those other groups out there, other names outside of GMS, are prophets too. You know? But you got to get the whole truth. Because when the charagma comes, man, when the MOTB comes, like I said, you people are gonna fucking scramble, man. It said, declare you among nations and publish, and that's our job. Declare, going to some Hebrew. Declare. Nagad. To be conspicuous, tell, make known, to tell, declare, tell, announce, report, declare, proclaim, confess. So the Most High set up men to tell among the nations and publish. This gospel must be preached throughout the whole world or published throughout the whole world, and the end shall come. What's the medium or the vehicle that was used to do that? The internet, the World Wide Web. Shammai, to listen. So people are supposed to listen at this. To be heard. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. So on to the next one. Shalom.